They buried me in the water and I came, I knew. Ha ha. Now I'm baptized in blue.
I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, never winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue.
What's up, Sheepdog Nation? Welcome to another podcast episode of Changing the Culture podcast with your host, me, Autumn Clifford. As always, I'm totally excited to be here with you and bringing you the heat, fresh, new perspectives, anything and everything I can bring you to change your mind. This is the only self-help podcast hosted by a female cop. I want to welcome you. I want you to brace yourself because I don't do it like anybody else. I'm really blunt. I'm in your face. I do swear. It is what it is. I want to welcome you to the show. I'd like to first tell you that this episode is brought to you by the Lady Sheepdog Club. And if you are a female first responder or a female looking to become a female first responder, then you need to go and check this out and become part of this movement. Yeah, it's just at the end of the day, ladies, being a woman and a man's world, it is different, and this can piss some guys off, but it's just the truth. I've been doing this thing for over 10 years now, and it's different for us, and the culture has changed in some agencies, but in many across the world it hasn't, and we need to be learning together, and we need to be developing leadership skills to be squared away females. I think that's very important. And so I developed this Lady Sheepdog movement just for you. You can click the link below, go to my website, autumnclifford.com, and you can go and find the Lady Sheepdog movement on there if you'd like. But this is what today's episode is sponsored by, and I think you should go check it out. Go be a part of it. Stop messing around. All right. So I'm so excited to bring to you today's content. I hope you loved the intro. You can listen to the end of the song at the end of this episode. I hope you enjoy. What's up, Sheepdog Nation? So today what we're going to be talking about is having whatever the fuck you want. So here's the deal. We spend a lot of our life thinking that we can't have exactly what we want, that we are just cops, we are just firefighters, we are just police wives, we are just a man, just a woman, whatever. That is what we spend our lives telling ourselves. But let me just tell you what the truth is. The truth is that, yeah, you are more than that. Of course, you are just a man or a woman, but you are so much more than that. And the truth is you can have anything and everything that you want. Take a look at the most successful people in the world. What do you think? They just one day woke up and God was like, you get to have whatever you want because you're special. Fuck no. No, they're made equally just like you and I. They decided they were going to go out and they were going to get and take what they want. Did you hear me? They went out and they decided that they were good enough to have anything and everything that they desire. And so guess what? That's exactly what they did. And I'm here to tell you today, you can have exactly what it is that you want. And the reason I'm so lit up about telling you this is that we have so many beautiful men and women that listen to this podcast, so many, first responders, people out there who just are living, mediocre lives and living in this belief that, it's just the way that it is. And, I wasn't born with money. I wasn't born to whatever, have these things, do these things. And I just want to say to you, that is very much just a mindset. And I just want you to know you can have anything you want. If we take a look at like some of the most successful people in the world, right? Like Oprah, she'll tell you she came from nothing. Okay. Let's look at Tom Brady, obviously the best quarterback in the world. And he fucking worked his ass off. And then I was watching something today, a couple of days ago, that talked about like Tom didn't even start to shine until he was like in his late 30s. Okay. He's 43 now. He didn't even start shining until it was like his 32nd birthday or something. He was like 32 when he started to shine. Like that guy was grinding for his whole life. Okay. And he just decided every single day he would wake up and just decide, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is who I am. We look at Sarah Blakely. She is the first female billionaire. Okay. Self-made billionaire in the world. And she just woke up and decided, I'm going to start this business, Spanx. And then it evolved. She just decided every day, I'm going to be this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this every single day. And she would decide. And if you listen to her story, it didn't come, nobody gave her anything. She went out and took it. And, it's the same thing. Michael Jordan, we look at him. Yes. Was he talented? Is he talented? Of course he is. But that motherfucker worked. He got cut from his high school basketball team. Okay. He didn't play basketball in high school for a whole year. And you know what that guy did? He worked harder that year than probably anybody actually who was on the team. All right. Like he worked. And when Jordan, he had a lot of times, trials and tribulations and things that he might have failed at, right? Or he did fail at. But he got up and he chose again. No, I'm not this person. I'm this person. I'm this person. I'm this person every day. I'm choosing. This is who I am. We look at somebody who you might not expect me to talk about on this podcast, but I have, is 50 Cent. And my mastermind and I have read his book. And actually, obviously, my mastermind's filled with first responders, and they were definitely like, oh, I don't know, Autumn. I don't know, right? But once they started reading his book, they were like, wow, like he has a lot of really good things to say. And it's the truth. And he just decided. He just chose every day who he was and who he was going to be and what he was going to have. And he chose every single day. He came from nothing. His mother died when he was like 7 years old. He lived with his grandparents, and he was around a lot. It wasn't just him and his grandparents. There was a lot of children in and out of that house. He said he was the baby, and he really kind of got looked over a lot, but he had to make his life. Like he chose again, and he's continuing to choose. And that's what's making him who he is today. And I just want to tell you this, like, it doesn't matter. Like, look, here's the deal. Here's what I really need to say, right? Is you chose to become a first responder, a person on the front line, a spouse of that, or somebody who's pretty kick-ass because you're listening to my podcast, right? That doesn't define you. Your job does not define you. What you decided that you were going to do for a career doesn't define you, yet so many of us are letting it define us. We're just settling with the fact that I'm a cop, and I am going to make, no more than 90,000 or 120,000 a year. I'll be working my balls off for that, depending on like what area of the country you live in, but it's all relative. And that's just who I am. And that's just what I'm going to be. No. Listen to me. I don't know at what point in our lives that kind of happens. I really don't, because I was there for a little while too. Like, not a whole lot, not long. I'll tell you, not long, but I was there for a couple of years too. And I was like, fuck, like I'm only going to make this amount of money. Like, holy shit. Like I was working hard and, to pull in like 70,000 a year or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. And at the time, my husband and I, we had another roommate who happens to be a police officer. So all three of us we're cutting this like it was a $1,100 a month rent and a nice like little townhouse. And, so I'm only paying $300 for rent. Everybody is. And, my car was like $250 a month. So like, I'm paying like, honestly, like $600-700 for all of my bills. I was living, you know what I mean? So when you're making, 50 to 70,000, depending on how much overtime I felt like making, working, and that's your expenses. It's you're living a good life. But the truth is then Adam and I were like, okay, our roommate decided that he wanted to buy a house with his now wife. Adam and I wanted to go and rent another apartment because for some reason we just weren't ready to buy a house. And so our expenses, went up because it was no longer cut in threes. It was now cut in half. And then I just started to notice like, okay, this is okay. Like I'm still doing great and I'm still saving fuck tons of money, but like, this is it. And then like, what happens when we buy a house? We went and bought a house and we're like, holy shit. Like now, not only are we paying our mortgage, right? So I like take the, replace the rent. And it's like, we bought a fixer-upper. So we have a really beautiful spot in the woods, but we have had to fix everything, including the driveway, the lawn. Every piece of my house has been repainted, and we still have to redo the kitchen. We have to redo a bathroom. And so, I mean, we're not fully done, although we've done a lot of work to it, right? So it's just tons and tons and tons of expenses. But yet in my head, I still defined myself as just a cop. I'm just a cop. I'm just a cop. And I think, I think, family, this is why I'm just so adamant to you. And I'm just really like, I know I'm kind of probably yelling at you, and I'm sorry if it's offensive, kind of, not really. I'm really trying to get my point across to you and tell you this is that you're just so much more than you think you are. And the trick and the formula, what you need to do to be successful is this. Okay, you ready? Write this down. This is important. Can you hear me clapping? When I clap, that means pay attention. You need to define what success is to you. Because what success is to me might be very different than what success is to you. But you need to define what it is for yourself. Then every single day, you're going to get up and you're going to decide. You're going to decide who you are. And you're going to decide what you're going to have in your life. And then every day you're going to wake up and you're going to take steps towards that every single day. And it doesn't have to be hard. And once you decide, once you have like full force faith, like, hello, motherfucker, here I am, right? Like, this is who I am. You can say it with me. I'm Autumn motherfucking Clifford, first name, motherfucking last name. My coach does that. So we took that from Amanda Francis. But you fucking decide who you are, and you wake up every day like, what's up, bitches? I'm here. Like, I'm not going anywhere. And you just show up and you show up and you show up and you do the thing, and you're open for guidance, and you decide that you are more than what you thought you were. You are everything you want to be, and you get to fit into that definition of success. And every day, once a month, actually, like, you might have to take a look at what your definition of success is. Maybe it was you made certain amount each month, and then you start making that, and so on for 3 months, and then the 4th month you're like, you know what, I want to up that, or I want to do this thing, I want to speak, I want to be an author, I want to whatever, right? Own real estate, be an entrepreneur. I want, whatever success is to you, you have to define it. Then you just have to decide that that's who you are. And never at any point in time do we ever allow our current circumstances to define us, and we never allow our jobs to define us. What we chose to go out and do in this world as a career, like, we don't, that doesn't define us. Okay. That is a piece of us, and it's a large piece of us. We spent a lot of time doing that. Yes. But that doesn't define us. And it's all in your perspective. Maybe, if you're really stuck, okay? So if you're really stuck on things, okay, like, all I am is a bus driver. Here's what I want to tell you. You need to let's go deep, and let's really focus on who you actually are. Yeah. So you are driving a bus right now, but that's not who you are. Right? That's not who you are. You weren't born a bus driver. That's just what you're doing right now. And how can you make a difference in whatever your job is that you're doing right now? How can you make a difference there? Because the truth is we need all the change makers we can possibly have. We need that. And so dive deep into your purpose, and then decide every single day who you are and what success is and what you're going to be. And decide every fucking morning. And you know what? Maybe you have to redecide by noon because you've already got your head messed up. Redecide, make new choices. It does not matter. Make new decisions. And then, you just have to keep choosing. When I did that, that's really when my life changed for the best. I choose every single day who I am. And a little piece of advice is, I don't let anybody define me. And I mean motherfucking nobody. Haters included. And let me tell you something, your haters want to define you. I have a lot of haters. I have a fucking list mile long of people who don't like me. But does that stop me? Hell no. Do I give that much of a shit? Hell no. I really don't care. I don't care. And I just don't let their opinions define me. I also don't let people who love me's opinions define me, right? I mean, I take into consideration what my husband and my parents have to say, but they don't define me. I define me. Me, that's it. I'm the only one. I choose how I show up in this life. I choose who I am, and I choose who I'm going to be every single day. Now it's your turn. Tag, you're it. You get to take responsibility. You get to take back your power, and you get to decide who you are. So now the question is, who the fuck are you going to be tomorrow? I love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, share it out. Give me a rating on Apple Podcasts. Haven't done that in a while. Haven't asked for it in a minute. Go and listen to the rest of this podcast. I mean, geez, I must have over 130 episodes. And you are lucky because you are one of the chosen few. Do you guys like that? I'm not trying to be manipulative, actually, but you, honestly, there's really nobody else out there like me doing what I'm doing. First female cop doing self-help. I'm not saying I'm the first female cop to have a podcast. I've been on a couples, but nobody else is a self-help expert like I am doing the damn thing. But here I am, and here you are, and you're soaking it up. And because of that, you're going to get someplace. If you need me, I'm on Instagram at Officer Autumn. If you are a first responder or you are a woman in a male dominated workplace and you want to be a part of a movement that is far bigger than any one of us individually, Lady Sheepdog, come hang out. Link is below. Love you guys.
They buried me in the water and I came, I knew. Ha ha. Now I'm baptized in blue.
I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue.
They buried me in the water in the Holy Ghost. I came out with a badge and gun and a heart that said never run. I signed up for a job you wouldn't dare to do. This ain't no green screen movie, don't compare the two. We look at your actions in the elements and everything relevant. If they line up, prepare to pay the consequence. You do dirt, you get cuffed, no bluff. It's ignorant to think we will shoot with your hands up if you the police. You feel the world is against you, like every call you go to, people trying to tempt you. Well, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary. I ride on the devil, I ain't scary, and I ain't worried. You want my life, come take it, it's gonna be a fight. I take you to the light, like Will and Bright. I wouldn't expect you to understand what I do, only the thin blue line, cause they baptized in blue.
I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue.
I can't explain the pain when I see a name on the wall. All I feel is rage, put me in a cage, let me brawl. Sometimes I can't help but cry, like why did he die? I know it was him, but it could have been I. What about the kids? What about the spouse? Yeah, now who gon' put food inside them babies' mouth? It's a bigger picture when the officer down. Domino effect, Blue Nation, family, country, and town. The media don't cover us. Well, maybe Fox, cause MSNBC and CNN surely don't care about cops. Politicians more concerned about protecting the legal instead of laying the law down and protecting the people. Let me get off my soapbox before I curse. I don't seen way too many cops riding in hearse. Well, I wouldn't expect you to understand what I do, only the thin blue line, cause they baptized in blue.
I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. See, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue.
If I'm faced with a mission, I'm gonna complete it. If that means being deleted, I live with the credence. I do this for the combat vets and LEOs. When I'm suited, ready to go, it's either friend or foe. Only Lord knows what my future's in store. I only kill with the hope to see more, so God don't close that door. If I take a life, it's him or me. with the hopes to survive, not be a good tree. I go in situations that you cannot imagine, deal with things that you cannot fathom. No if buts or rather, I'd rather fight for a cause than live for nothing. So when you read my headstone, you know I died for something. You hypersensitive shit complain by justified force. You blame the cops first, that don't work, you blame the courts. But I wouldn't expect you to understand what I do, only the thin blue line, cause they baptized in blue.
I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit, I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit, see, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, never winner, never quit, I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit, see, I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue.